Now, children here in France have returned back to the classroom this week. For most of them, Wednesday is a day off where they take part in sport or other educational activities. Parents, for their part, need to worry about what afternoon snack to feed their little ones, and that snack here in France is called a goûter. Each Wednesday over the next month, we will be featuring something sweet in our Entre Nous segment. We can now bring in Georges Kousanas. You are head of pastry at Lenôtre Culinary Arts School just outside of Paris and vice champion, world champion for pastries. Thank you so much for joining us here on France 24. Now, I see that you have brought a lot of stuff with you. Firstly, let's talk about Madeleines, which are quite popular here in France. I didn't know how easy it was to make Madeleines, but a lot of my colleagues says it is very easy. Is it very easy?
It's easy if you know the details and pay attention to details, as everything. Madeleine, if we have to speak about goûter before going inside this product, came in its appearance in France in 16th century when the royal courts took new ingredients like chocolate, exotic fruit, all these things. And after, during the time, the children adopted to the program. But Madeleines, it's easy to make if you know the details. This is the beautiful shape of a shell, and the basic secret to know is the ingredients, and the baking also is very important.
So what makes a good Madeleine?
Ingredients, the baking temperature procedure is very important, and conservation to avoid lose the humidity of this product.
Okay.
Keep the moist inside.
And I see that some of the Madeleines you have with you have chocolate on them. Is that typical?
There is easy ways to do at home, but we as professionals, we have some secret keys to succeed, because chocolate is more complicated ingredient. We speak for crystallization and different temperatures. And
you also have some cookies with you. What exactly are? What have you?
Oh, it's hazelnut cookies. Hazelnut cookies, very common in France. For all the children love, even the big ones love cookies. And also another product I brought is vegan chai cake. Okay. Which is a variety of products that the people want nowadays, gluten-free, vegan, and all these products we try to propose to our clients in our school. We have different kinds of teaching programs for beginners for a couple of months, and also advanced programs for a very short period of time. I want to talk about the programs in just a second, but if you can talk to me about this concept of goûter, which kids in France have every single afternoon. Where did it come from exactly? Goûter, as I mentioned previously, started from 16th century in the royal courts, and after, with the industrialization, as the working hours start to be longer and longer, the parents start giving to their children a small snack after the school. Was it always sweet? Sweet is, everybody loves sweet. I mean, France does love its sweets, to be fair. It can be a fruit, but sweet is more attractive. There is not any particular, French people love sweet. There's not any particular reason. As I mentioned, from the 16th century, it was the import of chocolate, sugar, and exotic fruits that make the difference. You mentioned you brought a vegan cake with you. I know that over the past few years, people have been, of course, watching their health, trying to consume less sugar. Is that a trend you're seeing here in France? Is a trend, but it seems to be a trend that is well established in our society. Okay. Gluten-free, a lot of intolerances, glycemic index, it's very important, obesity, which is some new things we pastry chefs and bakers, we need to pay attention, so we are adapting to the demand of our clients. I see you brought a marble cake with you as well. Exactly. So what is the secret to making a good marble cake? Because I don't bake anything, I just eat everything. I'm glad to tell you my secret. So when you take out your cake of the oven, is to clean wrap it with a plastic wrap and put it inside the freezer, so it keeps inside the moist and it doesn't dry out. Really? Yeah. Okay, and what about any tips for icing? Because a lot of people, this is something that they mess up on. I don't know, I've heard. glazing a cake, it could be quite difficult. For this reason, there is some techniques, key points to respect. Temperature is very important of the glazing product and the glaze itself. And also be distinguishing by the different qualities, different varieties of glaze. There is difference. This one for the marble cake is chocolate oil and chopped roasted almonds.
Like you mentioned also, you brought a vegan cake. Is that also a new trend which you're seeing using? Is it difficult for you as a pastry chef not to use things like eggs in making
butter?
Eggs, butter, yeah.
We are in France, so butter is very...
So what do you do? And how do you make it tasty then?
It's a very controversial issue in a pastry because...
So what do you do instead of...
it's replacing by ingredients and flavors like to replace the fat with new coconut butter, oil, spices, chocolate to give more pronounced flavors. Otherwise, this is the basic, the flours to be a different origin, like rice flour and flours that don't contain any gluten. And vegan, you have to replace the milk even with water because the percentage of inside the milk is water. So the flavor and the texture is the two particularities that influence the basic pastries if we change it to vegan.
George, you mentioned that your pastry school has courses for amateur chefs. So what kind of profiles do you see coming to learn how to make pastries? Are they young adults? Are they professionals? Who's coming?
We have all these profiles as you mentioned it. We are an international culinary arts school, so we have courses for the young ones and also for the people that want to change their career and became pastry. We have bankers or whoever they came into our school to study pastry, bakery, or cooking classes. So this is the programs with more, it's longer, around 6 months. And then we have the programs also for the experienced ones, so they want to reevaluate their knowledge after years of studies. And this to be perfection in a course. And after we have the team building programs for the business to have fun, and for the beginners that do not have even any knowledge in pastry, they can come our school and enjoy themselves.
And how long are the courses? Like what?
It depends. It depends. It could be for one afternoon. It could be 3 days. It can be 6 months.
And I assume that some of the classes are in English, or the classes are in English?
Yes, definitely. We have more than 75% of our clients are international profiles.
That's fascinating. Great to know. Georges Kousanas, thank you so much for joining us on the program. And you can, of course, check out everything from the Instagram page of Fou de Pâtisserie, which translates roughly in English as Crazy for Patisserie. And there you can see is George's Instagram account. You can check out all his crazy creations on Instagram.